like, I wouldn't say anti-government, but like anti-establishment.
Yeah.
Right. So that kind of like, it's like, there's a way to do it. You can make money. You can make a lot of money on it. You can do it right, and then you can sleep at night and not worry about. If you think for a second that the IRS is like stupid, it's not going to come after you. It's not going to find out. Like, once you get big sums of money and you got you're moving like whale amounts, like you're in the millions, then I don't know if it makes sense to like to stay off the grid and not report it.
Yeah. I'm not worried, but let's say I was a Nigerian scammer. Let's just say I got the tip that IRS is looking towards my crypto now on the forums. If I move to Puerto Rico, if I move to maybe Bali, will they come after me then? Because I'm gone out the country.
So that's a good question. So Puerto Rico has Tax Act 60. That's like Condado in Puerto Rico, just outside of San Juan, is like a big crypto haven. So a lot of people have gone there. Yeah. They have made vast amounts of money and taken advantage of the Tax Act 60. So basically, they'll become a full-time resident there. And you only pay like 4% in capital gains rate. That's huge.
That's a big.
The problem is, you are like, let's say you're planning on doing that, and now you have this all these capital gains already, and like you have millions. Now you want to move to Puerto Rico. All of those that you have made on the mainland are subject to the U.S. Internal Revenue Service taxing. It's not until you get there and you get an attorney, and then you actually sign all the paperwork, and then you identify your public addresses for your wallets, and then you start there. So you all that stuff that came prior is subject to the United States mainland. Nice thing about if you do a full-time residency in Puerto Rico, you don't have to give up your U.S. citizenship, which is good. You can't vote in the federal election, but if you don't have any sources of income or anything outside of the U.S., outside of Puerto Rico, then you don't even have to file a U.S. income tax return. You don't have to file that 1040. You just file the Puerto Rican government tax return.
Oh, wow.
So
interesting.
Hey, smart move, man.
Yeah.
Logan Paul, Luke Belmar.
Well, yeah. They're like, there's like some big time money there. So it's done really well for a lot of people. But again, it's been gentrified. So there's this pull on the island where, now once you get an area gentrified, it jacks up the real estate prices. So a lot of people in the mainland, they're going to Orlando because they can't afford to live there and buy a property anymore. So it's becoming, something like maybe like a Hawaii or something like that. So there's kind of that political uprising in there about that. So,
we got some chats real quick.
Yeah, we can. Okay, so we got here. Arshad goes, I love you guys. I'm a multimillionaire businessman with my brother from Georgia. We own extended
stay hotels.
Okay,
and have about 1K rooms, event halls, etc. I just ended a relationship with my second woman because you can't fix modern Western women.
We got DZA says,
you're free now.
He goes, hi, FNF. Quick advice. I'm 25 and I work 2 full-time jobs and just paid off my 18K car in 2 years. And I have 8K saved up after and would like to have more free time from one of these full-time jobs to network more. Any advice on which move I should make now?
25 full-time job. Yeah, bro. Good job on paying off your car. I mean, listen, people's main expense is where you live and where your car as well. Car debt especially is going to be high. So good job on that. Networking itself, bro, you want to be in a major city where there's actually access, a lot of groups going on. I would say like Miami, Texas, even Vegas as well. So find a local area that's good for you, depending on what you're doing. Like, for example, let's say you're doing real estate. Meetup.com in your local area. Find that meetup group. Go over there. Go to different events on Facebook. Whatever you can find in that area for whatever your expertise is, go do that as well. But again, major cities, Texas, Miami, Vegas, New York, that's where you should be.
Yep.
Dr. B84 says, tell the fresh. Bro, tell me why I'm eating dinner, right? At Komodo. I look over to my left, I'm like, I know this nigga. Dr. B84 is eating dinner right next to me on a date. Shout out to him, man. He says, my girl is still bugging about our Miami trip last week. Good to see you in Komodo. The other day when I was celebrating my 40th birthday, 2 years ago, my girl weren't even looking at me. I spent the week in Miami with one. Yeah, 2 years ago, he was He's looking to girls. Now he's doing well for himself, successful, and he's getting what he deserves, recognition. So successful, and he's getting what he deserves, recognition. So shout out to him. Happy birthday, bro. We got here. Darfur Gang says, Steve, my brother owns a commercial property. How can I reap the benefit?
And I have my own like tinfoil like theory of how that's going to be rolled out. I think it's probably going to be through the stimulus.
Yeah.
So they'll have people like, okay, we're gonna, they just did a $1.2 billion stimulus package, right? So they'll be like, okay, maybe we have some like COVID type of event where they're going to be like, okay, if you want to claim your stimulus money, you're going to get $2,700. How are you going to do that? We're going to give you a CBDC, and then you're going to set up a bank account. You're going to go through your KYC, hook in there through your phone, and then everybody's going to want that money, obviously, right?
Yeah.
And then that's how they're probably going to use some method. That's my theory, to usher in the digital bank currencies, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is
At some
deep.
point in the future.
Listen, so see, let me get this straight. So you're telling me, let's say I had crypto back in the day. I was in the club popping bottles, getting lit, buying Lambos, Ferraris, all that fun stuff. They're going to tax me all the way back then, my crypto, even though it wasn't on the form in 2021, 22.
Yeah, so what I would say is like, you can go back and I think there's going to be some
Grace?
Yeah. So what happened was like back in, I can't even remember. Let's maybe like 20 years ago. There was a lot of like contractors that were working for construction, like developers and stuff like that. And a lot of them like didn't, they were like on 1099 basis or whatever, so they would just not issue 1099s. So it was becoming a big issue because we had a real estate boom. And with the IRS, they was put together like a forgiveness, like program and saying, hey, file all the 1099s, come, and then they weren't going to kill you on like all these penalties and interest.
Yeah.
And it was like a coming to the Jesus, like, okay, here's your one chance. It's going to be like a forgiveness program where people came forward that would pay whatever they probably were supposed to owe, and then they get caught up and then promise to stay in compliance in the future.
Okay.
So I think there's going to be something like that because the underreporting it's crazy. Like I think it's probably less than 10% of people honestly, that are involved with crypto that are actually reporting on their tax return. I would probably estimate it's like that, yeah. There's been a couple of studies on it. I had some good numbers when I did the course. I don't have them offhand, but it was ridiculous. I think like in 2015 or something like that, the IRS did similar to that where like, did you do anything with, like, they figured out like who was reporting like Bitcoin or something like that, and they knew how many people were involved with Bitcoin and sold it or whatever, maybe based on like blockchain analysis.
It's public.
It is, yeah. And then I think there was only like maybe 800 people in the entire United States, and we knew like thousands and like millions of people like were involved with the crypto at that point in time. So that just goes to show, yeah. And then also the general mindset of people that are involved with crypto are kind of those that are like, I wouldn't say anti-government, but like anti-establishment.
Yeah.
Right? So that kind of like, it's like, there's a beyond that. I don't know. Like what else can you do? That's about it. Yeah. Because if he doesn't want to relinquish ownership to you, then you're not going to be able to take any depreciation on it.
Damn. Okay. Jay Hurd. I'm a freshman in college and plan on following the accounting path. How would you build skills, do internships, and network in the field to set yourself up for success for accounting?
So, I don't know if you're interested in taking the CPA track, but definitely I would get in with a CPA firm. I mean, they're always looking for people. They're always hiring. They're always short-staffed. And you're going to be exposed to a lot of things. That's a good feather in your cap to put on your resume going forward. So that makes you like much more employable and attractive.
I would find as well the best, or I want to say the most plugged in accountant in my area on LinkedIn. Hit him up if he's going to respond to you at least, and say, hey, I'm a guy looking to get into accounting. I'm willing to learn, spend hours working for you for free. Would you mention me? Just something like that.
I mean, you don't even have to do that. There's a lot of CPA firms that'll take you. And you could just do like run to the post office, answer the phones, or just do like just very basic stuff, fill out organizers or things of that nature where you can get your foot in the door. They're always looking for people to help out in the office, so because we're busy.
That's good.
Water Dragon says, question, what is the time limit to go from, this is a good question, what is the time limit to go from, this is a good question, sole proprietor to LLC, and same from LLC to S Corp?
So it is up to 24 months. I have, if you go to my bio in my Instagram, I got the A to Z LLC to S Corp, and it walks you through step by step with videos in there and everything on how to do that. What forms you got to fill out.
And we did a whole episode on this.
Yeah.
If any of you guys are watching this podcast right now, and you're you're a sole proprietor, you're an LLC, you're fucking up. You need to switch over and become an S Corp immediately. The only time it should even be an LLC, from correct me if I'm wrong, is if it's a real estate property, right?
Yeah, because we talk about it all the time. Because we're going to wind up filling out, it's called the Schedule C of your 1040. That's the most audited form in the IRS. It's the number one audited form. And also you're going to be winding up to pay whatever profit you declare on that Schedule C is going to be subject to 15.3% self-employment tax. Then you got to pay ordinary income tax on it.
Damn.
So
you're getting like double tax.
Yeah, it's steep. So you're talking.
So all you guys, you need to switch over to an S Corp immediately. You guys that have just a simple LLC or a sole proprietorship, you're fucking up, man. You need to switch on over to an S Corp immediately.
Yeah, if you've got a $50,000 profit on that, that's a $7,500 savings right off the bat just by doing that.
Wow.
$7,500 on a $50,000.
That's another question I know they would ask. How much do I need to earn per year to switching over to an S Corp makes sense?
Anywhere between 40 and 50. Once you hit like your net profit, once you take your income, take all your expenses out, if your net is around 40 to 50 grand, then you should be an S corporation.
Wow.
Okay, not gross.
Not gross. No.
So if you're actually netting it and that's what you're getting, okay, 40K minimum.
100,000 in income. I have 50,000 in expenses and everything with my car, my rent, and whatever expense you have for your business. And my net profit
is 40K. They need to be an S corp.
S corp. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Nigel Cardosa goes, hey, Steve, is accounting still a good career to get into in 2024? Where is the best place to start? And how can you progress from 0 to 100? Thanks, F&F. Good question.
Yeah, become a tax professional or learn about crypto, and you would be. This is where the future of finance is, right here. So
that's how you diversify yourself as an
people are going to need
a
lot of help doing that. There's actually even people that are they're not even like true tax professionals. They just know how to go in and calculate all of the gains and losses and figure out what's like, put a report together for accountants.
Wow.
That they're putting these services together, and that's all they focus on. And they're making a business out of it.
Gotcha.
That's how big it's becoming.
Okay.
I think
versus if you're an accountant and you can do it yourself.
Right.
Wow.
Right. So and understand it. Yeah. So I mean there's people that just like, okay, this is a little niche. I'm going to focus in on this, and then because we need help with that. I don't have time to go out and download people's wallets and hook them together, and check everything.
Yeah.
It's this is something that either they have to do and bring to their accountant, or they have to get somebody to help them do it.
Wow,
bro. If I was a CPA, I would just hire them to work for me.
Yeah,
shoot.
That's what I told them.
As well.
I got a couple of guys. I was like, look, in my group, they're like, if you guys can learn this and master this, you will be like this. This is the firms are going to be looking for people like you.
Wow,
until the software and the interfaces become more integrated, and maybe there's like an overlayer of like waiver. So we call it the FTA waiver. Not a lot of CPAs know this. So I started employing this 15 years ago in my practice. I came across an article.
So you've done hundreds of these things.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, I'm like, no, don't pay that, and then the problem is some people wind up paying it, and then they didn't have to, and it's harder to get the money back. So I'm like, no, don't pay it. Get penalized. When you get the penalty, give it to me.
Yeah.
And I have a template where I write a letter, and then we just send it in. If you're a 1040 filer and you got penalties on your personal tax return, then get the penalty notice on the top there, the upper right-hand corner. There is going to be a phone number. Just get on the phone number and call them and say, hey, I want to do the FTA waiver. And then they'll look up your account, and they're like, okay, you qualify, and they could abate it right on the phone.
Oh, nice.
In most cases. So that's a little free sauce for your guys there.
Yeah, I mean, you've already given
thousands of dollars,
bro.
Yeah.
We've been going for just a few minutes here, and you've already given them a bunch of value as far as like, oh yeah, like that counts as a taxable event with crypto, as far as like swapping coins out. And then right now with people, because there's probably people watching right now that might got one of these penalties, and they don't know that they can actually, if they have everything else is standing like
just call that phone number. It's an 800 number enter. Call that phone number where it's right on the penalty notice, and you can get it waived with I mean, you might be on hold this time of year, but just start doing some other stuff when you're on hold.
Yeah.
Also, chat, just so y'all know, we are going to have a Q&A because I know when we have Steve on, you guys love to ask questions. So we will have a Q&A at the end. I know Steve just had some things you want to talk to y'all about, and then we're going to open it up for Q&A. So if you guys got questions, fnfsuperchat.com, or go ahead and send a Rumble rant in, and we'll answer your questions because some of you guys asked some really good questions.
And guys, also just add in as well, we have our own Telegram chat for announcements and events for Fresh and Fit only, because as you know, when you get notified on YouTube or Rumble, sometimes you don't get all the time right away. So type in the Telegram chat. I think Mo has it in the chat as well, and join that. It's free, by the way.
So I'll turn it back to you, Steve. I know you had a list of things that you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, so I'm gonna dive in. So I think that's kind of what I want to cover, just a basic stuff that some people are going to overlook that I think is going to be valuable for your audience. But the other thing I wanted to get into was the crypto tax, because that's the soup du jour today, right? It's the soup of the day. Everybody's really like, the market's up and we're in a bear market now. We just came off of a terrible long period where we were in we're in a bull market.
Yeah, we're in a bear last year though.
We were in a bear market for quite a while. So I'm sure a lot of the returns that people are doing right now and calculating their crypto transactions are going to come out to have losses. So I don't know if a lot of people knew this, but this is another piece of really good, valuable information and it's different when you're involved with the traditional finance stock market and you're trading stocks and you have stocks that are at a loss. A lot of people, what they were doing, is at the end of the year, around close to December 31st, they were selling that stock for a loss, and then they would buy it back in the following year, thinking that it might go up again. And that's called loss harvesting. So the IRS put a stop to that, said, no, you can't do that. And they put a wash sale rule in place, meaning that you sell a stock, you can't buy it back for 30 days.
Whoa.
So that eliminated that. But in crypto, you can. It doesn't apply to crypto. So a lot of people were probably down on a lot of their positions. I know I did. I harvested a bunch of losses because I had a ton of positions I was holding that were way down. Some of them were 80, 90% down. I'm like, well, I'm not going to sell it now. What's the point? I'm just going to hang on to it. But I winded up selling them right at the end of the year, and then I bought them back January 2nd or 3rd, pretty much at the same amount. And then I harvested those losses. So right now, I'm sure the IRS is probably going to come up with a rule to plug that loophole. That loophole. But for now, take advantage of it. So hopefully some people did that. We'll see how this year plays out. Probably people are going to be up in 2024, I would imagine. I think this is going to be a pretty good year. We got 3 more rate cuts coming. They just went to another 1.2 billion in spending, the stimulus package again.
Yep.
So it's kind of
an election year. They're going to bring the rates down as much as they can.
They want it. What's
the rates now at this point?
Oh, it's 7. There was 7% or something. I haven't even checked lately. I've been so busy. But you're in the process right now, right?
Yeah,
are you getting good
I'm
quotes?
under contract for a house right now.
Okay.
I didn't even ask them what the rate was. It's gonna be somewhere around 6 or 7, I think.
Okay. Yeah. So
I'm buying as an investor, so they always add an extra percent. When
Right. Yeah. Because it's not like a primary residence.
Yeah.
So okay. We spoke earlier about Puerto Rico taxes and crypto.
I'm going to finish with that.
Okay, cool.
That's on my agenda.
That's very important
with that. So I'm going to go quickly over kind of the stuff we're talking about. So I think I had. We're
going to put it on screen. All right, let's do it.
Let's go.
This is. So I don't know if you could blow that up, but look at. So here's a 1040. This is the 221040, right?
Yeah.
You got your name. You got your social security number. You got your address, and then you got your filing status.
Yeah.
Look what's number 3 on there. Digital assets.
Crypto.
That's new.
Oh,
that's now everybody's the IRS doesn't know what they're doing. They don't have they're not really paying attention. They are. They've been. They have this Operation Hidden Treasure that's been since 2018, I believe. Was it 20 or 2020? It could be 2020. Don't quote me on that. But there's a task force at the IRS where they're actually employing people to do on-chain analysis, where they're using tools and they're tracking